glad that you could stop by today. Well, actually, we both are pretty glad. This is Sparky. Today, we'd like to talk to you about our indoor tabletop water fountain that I bought through Amazon. The name of it is Woodstock. It's a Woodstock product, and I've had it now for about a year, and it's been running like a top. Approximately 1 inch below the upper lip of your water ball, there are 2 stamped out holes, which with a twist tie hold down your pump's electrical cord in place. After you finish cleaning your bowl and refilling it with water, remember to press down the electrical cord along the inside of your water bowl. This will allow the floating bells to pass by freely without any obstructions. I'd say that we're ready to begin cleaning our fountain. Remove all of the parts, such as the flow diverter, floating bells, and the stationary bells. For this tutorial, I've decided to leave the pump attached to the twist tie. You may prefer to use a zip tie. Now, I don't know if that you can notice inside, but can you see the little ring here? When it dries, that little ring will turn blue, and that's the oxidization that's taken place. Now, some people want to take all of that away and start fresh and have a beautiful copper bowl as it was when they first purchased it. But in order to get this beautiful patina back, it's going to take a long time. And frankly, I think it's really gorgeous. Next, I clean the floating water bells by using an old toothbrush. And the reason is that the bristles get up in between little places that a sponge just can't. So I'm just using tap water. And I'm not scouring very hard, just gentle. Just enough to get some slime off that maybe occurred in the water from pollen falling in or dust falling into the water. That's all. That's what it should look like when it's done. Next, I remove the 2 center bells. On some brands, or some models actually, the 2 bells will come apart. In this particular model, it doesn't, and so you have the whole shaft together. Basically, that's how it came. Well, that's how this one came anyway. So I just give it a quick brush in through. Next, I take the bell assembly flow diverter apart. Just a little twist and each end pops off. Pull it through the plate. For cleaning the tubing, I like to use a double-ended flexible hose brush that I picked up at a pet store. You can buy this in the aquatic section. And make sure that you twist off both ends of your hose. Then all you have to do is just pass the smallest end of the bristle brush through the hose. And this will take care of any algae buildup. And it's nice and clean. You do the same thing with the plastic end pieces. Next, I finished cleaning up the stationary bells using a sponge. It's actually a scouring pad that has plastic on the back side, so it won't scratch the copper. For those who want to get their patina completely off, you could use CLR, or you could use Comet bathroom cleanser, but I don't recommend it at all. What I'm doing now is tightening up the bells. They get loose just from everyday wear. Now I just put my finger on the bottom here. You could use a Phillips screwdriver, but you really don't need to. Just press your finger on the bottom and it tightens up really nicely. And then this is what's going to create the beautiful sound when the floating water bells pass by the stationary water bells. Okay, so that's good and tight. We don't want to over tighten it because this plate is only made of plastic. All right. All right, I've let the ball dry a little bit, and now you can see what I'm talking about with the blue. See, it's like a blue-green hue. Okay, so now what I'll do is just lightly rub it down. Now, when you fill your bowl up with water, you're not going to see this anyway, unless you let the water line go down too much, and that's going to happen from evaporation every day anyway. So you need to top off your water fountain once a day. And especially keep a very good eye on it in the summertime. Okay, now here's the little pump. Just pop off the back, and as you see, the filter is loaded with, it could be some hair that it pulled in from the floating around, or definitely a lot of dust. Just pull it out, and you can buy a little piece of replacement filter. This is just it's just a little plastic filter. You can go into the pet store. I'm sure they have plenty of replacement strips. Or be creative and just buy you can go to a craft store, I'm sure, and buy the same stuff. You can probably buy a whole piece for a whole $1 instead of spending $4 or $5. So you save money. Watch it go. Okay, with this pump, you can also take this little brush and stick it through. Don't jam it through because there's little parts and pieces in here you don't want to damage. The rest of it can be cleaned with a toothbrush. Sometimes it's good to blow it out. Just make sure you have some airflow. Nice. Okay. So we'll just put this back together.
So before, when I took this filter out, it was all mushed and mangled in there, and that's just from the force of the water getting pulled through. Now it's nice and flat again, and the water will be flowing out properly at this point. So sometimes if you don't have your bells rolling around nicely, it could be due to the fact that the filter is getting sucked in to the pump. So you want to keep an eye on that. Now with this pump, it has a little lever here, or a little adjusting knob. You can make it the water pump out harder, or you can have it go softer. But the manufacturer suggests that you keep it on the highest setting to get the maximum flow of water. Now I assemble the pump to the belt assembly flow diverter. As you see inside the bowl, there's little footings, and they're spaced strategically apart. So when you put your base in, it's only going to fit in one way. So you need to find out exactly where the footings are on the bottom. And the footings are these extended pieces from your main bells. Okay, so that's where it's going to be. You know that. So I'm going to place the pump back on the bottom. There's little suction cups, and the little suction cups sometimes wear out, so you may need to replace them every so often.
I wanted to put my water bowl in a safe place and bring the focal point up off of the floor. So I decided to use this planter with beautifully hand-painted goldfish on the inside and butterflies along with wildflowers on the outer portion of the pot. It's just too bad that I won't be able to enjoy seeing the fish. However, it is a nice piece and goes very well bringing peacefulness full circle. No pun intended. I think it came from New Hampshire pottery, but don't quote me on that one.
I have Lazy Susan, and it's tempered glass, and it just so happens to fit exactly on top. Now the water bells will rotate evenly as long as the surface is level. So this should do the trick. And I'm making sure that the electrical cord is pushed down and the twist tie is nicely in place. And as you can see, this bowl has dried again, but no worries. And now I'm going to add some distilled water.
Thank you very much for watching. I hope that you found this video tutorial useful. Please feel free to leave a comment. And if you would be so kind, like, subscribe, and tell a friend. See you next time on We're Just Doing It. Goodbye!